got it twisted. We don't care about feelings. This shit about business.
All I see is commas, 20, 50, 100, racing to the money.
Yo, what up? It's S. Dot.
And Holly.
And we back again with another video. Today we got FBG Duck, Chicago House of Horrors. Link to this video in the description box.
Zamba.
Gang shit, none of that lame shit, you feel me? Rest in peace, Duck, man, you feel me?
I'm talking about. I'm tweaking, yeah.
Rest in peace, Duck, man, you feel me? Go stream, go download his music, man, you feel me? Bro was independent, so all that money go to the fan.
Damn, that's love.
Of course I know motherfuckers want to kill me. I'm a very disrespectful person. I know what I did in my lifetime, but I ain't gonna go nowhere I ain't want it, because I ain't gonna play with my life.
Damn.
My life mean a lot.
But first, we begin this hour 18 with several breaking stories, including gunfire steps from the Mag Mile on Oak Street.
We know 3 people have been shot.
A man and woman were seriously injured in this shooting, but their friend, a rising Chicago rapper, did not survive.
I love Chris Rich.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because he said it himself, he ain't gonna go nowhere, he ain't want it, you feel me? Just to protect himself. He was downtown, you feel me?
Right, so you wouldn't think that,
That'll happen. It's like, damn.
But their friend, a rising Chicago rapper, did not survive.
I love Chris
I
Rich.
heard like a machine gun going off.
Howard Gordon happened to be standing outside his convenience store. His store surveillance captured the horrific sounds.
I knew for sure this was gunshots.
It was real crazy that would happen right here in this area, out of nowhere. It was quiet and peaceful, and shopping going on, then shots rang out.
No, I'm not laughing at Twitch, I'm just laughing at how our people be talking when they get up on the news.
Nowhere. It was quiet and peaceful, and shopping going on, then shots rang out.
Alright, we gotta talk about the FBG Duck situation. And I've seen people on social media making jokes about it. I don't think they realize the horrific consequences that's gonna happen as a result of this. FBG Duck was killed in broad daylight in busy downtown Chicago, right next to Saks Fifth and Dolce & Gabbana in the Gold Coast. This is like the high-end, luxurious shopping area of this city. Him getting killed there is like someone getting shot on 5th Avenue in New York, or a drive-by on Rodeo Drive in LA. It's incredibly rare. And of course, Duck is extremely high profile. He's a gangster disciple, longtime rival of Lil Durk, King Von, Chief Keef, and they've been going at it for years. There's been dozens and dozens of casualties on both sides, and 3 weeks ago, Duck dropped a song called Dead Bitches, where he disrespects a couple of fallen O-Block kids, including the deceased kid that O-Block is named after, O.D. Perry. A lot of people think that this song is what triggered Duck's assassination. The gun that FBG Duck is holding in that music video is the same one that jammed up on him on Tuesday when he was killed. But what
That's crazy. I ain't know
So
that.
he did have a gun on him?
Right.
But I thought somebody was saying that he didn't.
Yeah, they were saying that the girl did. I think his mama was saying that. I think I saw an interview with his mama and she was saying he ain't had no gun. But he always rode with somebody who was licensed to carry.
Right. That's what I heard as well.
That could just be
Yeah, and no matter if you had a gun, low key, we gotta stop that stigma out here. Sometimes everybody ain't able to get to that gun range and get that card at the time, you feel me? You gotta have your protection, so yeah, you should be legal if you can, but, I mean,
Gotta protect yourself, you feel me? Protect yourself to supply your wealth, you feel me?
Hey, felt that, baby.
Yeah.
What people don't know is Chicago PD received a safety alert late on Tuesday that claimed Duck was on social media antagonizing his rivals hours before he went to the Gold Coast. Then we saw close friends of FBG Duck come out and say he had $1 million bounty put on his head. And I've seen people say this can't be true. Think about a war where one side has music industry money, cash that they can inject directly into their side.
Look how much money Chief Keef and Durk them to rent off. You niggas will go drop off guns in the hood and pay for them to get hit.
Now we're gonna get into all this, but before we do, check out my song of the day, Phone and Prohibition in the 20s, the multiple... Chicago is a gangster city. Ever since Al Capone and Prohibition in the 20s, the multiple capo regimes who ruled the drug trade, the weapons trade, and the gambling. Decade after decade, it's been...
Hey, that's fact. Chicago been like it's been that. You feel me? It ain't nothing new.
It's like all the people that's leaders and shit, it's just like they gone.
Regimes who ruled the drug trade, the weapons trade, trade, and the gambling, decade after decade, it's been clear you cannot control Chicago's gangs. Right now, there's over 150,000 active gang members, split into hundreds of sets and thousands of subsets. The south side of Chicago has the largest ghettos in America. It's stretched over 70 blocks. You can drive from 63rd to 127th Street. There's dilapidated buildings, pitchforks spray painted on the walls.
127th Street, stop lying. You lying now. You lying now. 127th to what?
Hey, he ain't lying though.
127th to what?
He ain't
Oh,
lying.
yeah, 120. Oh, you talking about that 120.
It go even deeper, low key. Like,
Pitchforks spray painted on the walls and yellow tape embedded in the cracks. What was once organized Gangster Disciple and Black Disciple factions built around enterprise and making money has since been completely wiped out. The new generation started a completely different war. They're not fighting over drug supply chains or distribution routes. It's just murder. Retaliation for this murder. Revenge for that song, for this, and so on.
Fuck being humble. On that disrespectful shit. Fuck Lil Durk. Niggas know I'm busting off day.
And while it's true, Duck did say in interviews that it was possible to unite with his enemies in the future. He even made a song, Chicago Legends, bigging up the other side and giving props to fallen.
hey, I thought they was gonna squash that shit. I ain't gonna cap. But then at the same time, I'm like, it's too much blood behind that shit for them to squash.
And I
it.
felt that way too, but I didn't even know it was like how it is, you know?
Yeah, but I still wanted them to squash that shit. But it was like, yeah,
It ain't no coming back from that shit.
But it's like, look at Jeezy and Gucci, like, you know. But it's like Jeezy kind of like a bitch to me. I ain't gonna care.
Yeah, that situation is so weird.
He like, how you go, man? That's another story for another year.
In the future, he even made a song, Chicago Legends, bigging up the other side and giving props to fallen BD rappers like Fredo Santana and LA Capone. But realistically, this shit runs so deep, a truce was never really in the cards.
We the niggas started dissing dead niggas first. We started that shit. You feel me? But, you know what I'm saying? That's why I say I'm the rap father.
And to give you perspective, FBG Duck is from 63rd and St. Lawrence Street, which is just 3 minutes away from O Block. That's how close they are. And just 2 minutes northwest of them is 600 Block, home of 600 Breezy, LA Capone, and Rondo, who are O Block allies, and who frequently sent shooters to go shoot up 63rd. In fact, immediately after Duck was killed, Chicago PD put almost a dozen squad cars on King Drive, which is the main street in between O Block and 63rd. They did that to try and prevent an immediate retaliation, but the cops can't stay there forever. Bulletins are going up all over the area, warning kids to stay inside. And Duck's allies are on social media saying Lil Durk has to be targeted next to even the score. Why? Because their feud is especially personal.
I see Durk. I ain't gonna lie. I see Durk. I had to say something to him, folks. I ain't gonna lie. He too tough for me. I ain't gonna lie to you. He too tough. But shit, but I just had to tell him, like, fool, you can't be doing all that, fool. I'll beat your ass, fool. Like, stop playing.
Have been going back and forth over music for years. And now with King Von getting hugely popular, he's Durk's artist, he's also taking shots at FBG Duck whenever he can. Everybody knows Tuka, and smoking on a Tuka pack is a reference mocking one of FBG Duck's best friends, a kid named Tuka, who was killed at a bus stop in 2011. Not only that, Tuka's blood brother was a kid named Lil Mark, who was also killed at a different bus stop 3 years later. In fact, Lil Mark was killed just days after releasing a diss track towards Lil Durk, where he mentioned all their dead homies. Lil Reese even FaceTimed Lil Mark days before he was killed, and they exchanged words, calmly dissing each other with a smile on their faces.
What y'all on? Alright.
Wait, so they got footage of them talking on the phone.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, that shit is wild.
That's crazy.
How's y'all FaceTiming motherfuckers talking about, yeah, you know? Like, how's y'all, like, this weird.
That's crazy.
Y'all odd. Y'all each other odd.
What up?
What's up, boy?
Out here. I'm fast, boy. I been out here. I stay out here, boy.
Then Lil Durk made this video at the very same bus stop where Lil Mark was killed.
Hey, this bus stop right here, though, this is a real famous place, bitch. This is a real famous place, bitch. Hey, this bus stop is a real famous place, bitch. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying?
And right now, with FBG Duck's death, the optics look crazy. Lil Durk and Von were just out in Chicago, where Von dropped off a bunch of chains and money. there's already been allegations that BD rappers who leave Chicago come back to their blocks to drop off weapons and arm their crews. Then, Tuesday, the day that Duck was killed, around 4 in the morning, he posted to his personal Facebook page, "They got me effed up. They're gonna see though." Now that could be just a regular post, or there's something more to it. Who knows? Later in the morning, he told one of his friends he was going to Oak Street in the Gold Coast, which is...
Well, let me see it one time. Okay.
Now that could be just a regular post, or there's something more to it. Who knows? Later in the morning, he told one of his friends he was going to Oak Street in the Gold Coast, which is the luxurious shopping district of Chicago. He was going to get his son some clothes for his birthday, which was coming up on August 11th. 4 hours before Duck went to the Gold Coast, Lil Reese suddenly tweets that he's getting on a plane, leaving Chicago to go to Cali. Dirk says to link with him. At 4 in the afternoon, Duck is in the Gold Coast with his girlfriend and another man. They're shopping on Oak Street. This is busy downtown Chicago, the fashion district. There's cameras everywhere, witnesses everywhere. It's a bold place to do a hit on someone, unless that was a place people thought he would be vulnerable in. Around 4:37, FBG Duck, his girlfriend, and this other man exited a store and are walking on the sidewalk near the Dolce & Gabbana, just a few steps from Michigan Avenue. 2 vehicles were parked outside, waiting. A black Ford Taurus and a silver Chrysler 300. That's when 2 men climbed from the 2 vehicles and opened fire 17 times. FBG Duck was hit 3 times in the neck, chest, and groin. He tried to fire back, but his gun jammed on him. Most probably that's because of those extended mags he got aftermarket.
I don't understand why it happened. I don't even know what caused it. It was so calm and peaceful. And those 2 gentlemen, I thought maybe they was together, but one just started shooting at the other.
Then the shooters got back in the car and fled west on Oak Street. No reports where they are, no public leads either. Immediately after Duck was pronounced dead at the hospital, Lil Durk tweets out R.I.P. Newski, paying homage to his own cousin who was frequently dissed by FBG Duck and other GD rappers. And to show you how the disrespect transcends distance, Tato, who's Chief Keef's cousin, and is all the way out in California, immediately dedicated his entire Insta story to mocking FBG Duck's death, posting smoking on a duck pack, etc, etc. Then 600 Breezy wasted no time to drop his own diss track towards Duck hours after he was confirmed to be dead. And you can expect in the coming months a bunch of BD rappers to drop some tracks mocking his death as like a celebratory victory lap type shit. The consequences will be horrific, and you gotta think that nobody on Duck's side has ever gotten as far as he did. Ever since the Chicago drill era exploded in 2011-20.
Hey, that's crazy. That he said that like that nobody got to that level that Duck did, and that's kind of true. It's like the only other one was Lil J, like, you feel me? And Lil J locked up, you feel me? So it's like, damn, like Duck was like they, you feel me, they head and shit. So
ever gotten as far as he did. Ever since the Chicago drill era exploded in 2011-2012, his side has basically been blackballed from the music industry entirely. Duck was arguably a better rapper and more versatile than most. He had just received the paperwork for a major label deal that was extremely lucrative, and he was about to sign it, or he had already signed it. Then he gets followed, targeted, and assassinated in the safest part of Chicago. It's brutal. But that's it for this video. Rest in peace to FBG Duck. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.
Damn, I thought he already had been like got a deal. He was just getting a deal.
He probably signed a single deal or something.
Okay, thinking he been signed his deal and all that.
Damn, that's fucked up.
And then I think a lot of people thought that too, because a lot of people was just talking out their ass. They like, why he ain't get out the hood, woo woo, and all that shit. And it's like,
damn, that's fucked up.
And then I think a lot of people thought that too, because a lot of people was just talking out their ass. They like, why he ain't get out the hood, woo woo, and all that shit. And it's like, look at that. It's like he was just gonna get up out that motherfucker and sign his shit.
I think he was still on papers or something too, and then he had just got off papers. I don't know. Hey,
damn,
that was an interesting story, because I ain't know that shit.
Me either.
Let us know how y'all felt about it, man. Drop it down in the comment box below. You feel me? It's Holly and Don't forget to follow us on social media.
HollyXS.
We out.
Bitches got it twisted, we don't care about feelings, this shit about business.
All I see is commas, 20, 50, 100, racing to the money.